my life doesn't matter. There's no goals that I want to achieve. I've got no ambition. There's nothing I want to actually see myself as, work towards, be towards. There's nothing that I'm truly passionate about. There's nothing that I truly need to strive towards and better myself towards. I have no ambition. What should you actually do if you have no ambition? And I want to literally take back to myself a few years ago. I was in a position where I was very nervous in my reality. Every day I was very anxious in normal little things like going to the shop. Literally, I was very anxious and very afraid of that. And it was also during COVID and everything as well. And I didn't have necessarily any ambition. And I had a little bit of hardship before that because I lost my job. And it's one of these things that you need to kind of understand. What do you truly want to solve? What do you actually want to solve? Do you want to solve someone's mental health? Do you want to try to help people with mental health? Do you want to try to inspire people, better people? What do you truly want to solve in the problems that you're feeling now? What problems are you actually feeling now that you want to solve? And that's where I truly feel like you find your ambition from. You may just want to work on fitness and help people with that. You may really have a love for IT and you want to help people in IT. There may be all different areas. Building houses, you may have a love for that. There's a lot of areas that you could actually have an element of impact in, that you can actually better yourself in, that you can actually work towards. But a lot of time, the ambition that you want in something comes deep within in a problem that you want to solve, if that makes sense. If there's a problem you truly want to solve in yourself that you actually truly want to solve, you're going to be ambitious towards that goal because you have familiarity with that goal, with that thing that's going wrong, with that situation that's going wrong. You have familiarity with that fucking thing that you want to achieve. Pardon my French. And that's what it comes down to with me. With this channel, what do I want to solve? I've had terrible mental health in my past. I've had terrible pain in myself. I've literally hated myself. I feel like I've experienced so many different areas of bad mental health with different things, with different situations, with different scenarios, all different areas, that I feel like I can help people with that because I've experienced that. Therefore, I want to help people with that and literally better people with that and better myself with that and build this. But there may be areas in yourself that you've experienced trauma, pain, whatever situation you've experienced that you could actually better yourself in and help people in. There's probably a lot of areas and a lot of things that you know that you enjoy doing that you can help people with. You know what I mean? And that's what truly builds that ambition in you. That pursuit of you wanting to better something and better someone and helping someone's problems. You wanted to achieve a certain goal and working towards that. What goals do you want to achieve? Where do you want to be? What person do you want to be? And that's a weird question to ask someone who doesn't feel ambitious at all, in a sense, but you're going to have to literally have a think of where you want to be. Who do you want to be? What person do you want to be? What situation, financially or whatever, do you want to be in overall? And what's going to allow you to strive towards a goal? And then you've got to find the vehicle that you want to achieve that in. You've got to find your vehicle that you want to achieve that in. Let's say you want to be a musician. And then you got to find what type of music you want to make. What type of music do you want to make? Or you may want to make a bit of all different genres. Then you've got to understand, how am I going to work towards that? It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of time to build that. How am I going to dedicate my time towards that? What do I actually want to pull off with that? What effect do I actually want to have with that music? You need to understand why you're doing these certain things. Do you want to be an IT technician? Why do you want to do that? Money? Maybe money is obviously apparent in a lot of these things, but money does allow you to drive towards it. But the true love for something as well, and a true problem that you want to solve, is going to allow that love for it as well, if that makes sense. Because if you got that ambition of money with that same thing that you're trying to better as well, that you've dealt with, that you actually are genuinely interested in, that's going to have an amazing effect on you. And you've got to try to understand, how am I going to be able to work towards this thing to make it fit in towards my life, if that makes sense. And my sense of ambition comes from my sense of pain that I felt, the sense of sadness that I felt, trying to help people in certain positions, trying to better myself to a certain position that I see myself as, constantly trying to better myself overall. That's where my ambition comes from, in who I want to be and where I want to be, the person I want to be. And it takes a bit of time and effort to understand where you need to find your ambition to. And if you got a journal at the moment, literally get a journal, write out, what am I ambitious about? What am I passionate about? Understand, where are you passionate about? Maybe walking dogs or some shit, you know? And then understand why why do I enjoy doing that? How can I help people do that? How can I actually provide a service towards that? And then understand, how do I better my own reality with that? And then you start to find an element of passion. What are you doing it for? What goals are coming from it? Are you feeling fulfilled? Are you feeling happy? Are you feeling grateful in that? And that's where a lot of the ambition comes from with things. If you are going to feel fulfilled and happy after you've done a certain thing and after you've achieved to your best ability in something, and you're constantly putting in that work day in, you're going to have an element of ambition towards that. And if it's quite hard to achieve as well, you're going to have ambition towards that, because you're going to know you're going to have to drive towards that thing, you know? And that's what it comes down to overall with this stuff. With me overall, that's what it's come down to. It's come down to me understanding, what do I want to solve? What problem do I want to solve in me? What have I faced issues with? What is the biggest issues I've faced in? What am I passionate about? I like talking, I like speaking, I like helping people with their mental health, helping people with things, bettering myself from my experiences. How do I do that? Maybe YouTube, maybe building this. And then understanding, how do you literally make that a reality? And what do you actually want to achieve through this thing? And then that's what keeps you going, and that's what builds the ambition. The literal passion you have for the thing, the literal goals you have in that thing as well, is what keeps you going. What allows you to literally feel happy and grateful at the end of the day? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself this as well. What will make you feel grateful and happy at the end of the day if I work towards? What do I truly want to work towards that make you feel happy and grateful at the end of the day? And you may have jobs or whatever at the moment, and you may be working a 9 to 5 or whatever at the moment, and then you need to understand, how am I going to be able to fit in this other thing that I want to work towards as well alongside that? Maybe when I get home a little bit, maybe when I have the weekends off a little bit, dedicate some time towards that. You've got to understand where you've got to put that energy, you know? You've got to understand, where do I truly feel passionate, and how am I going to be able to build this in the best way that I can? What do I have to do on a daily basis to build this? What do I have to do? What things take up the most percentage that has the true effect I have to do? For example, with these YouTube videos, the videos. You know what I mean? That's what takes up the true percentage, and you've got the other little areas that have the true effect, but a lot of time it comes from people watching it, liking it, commenting. Anyway, to build the videos. But it's the other percentage that matters, but just not as much as the bigger percentage, if that makes sense. What has the true effect? Videos. What do I have true control over? What I do on camera, you know? The thumbnails and all this stuff, I'm experimenting with that, but I don't know how to truly optimize that yet, and I'm trying to get better and better with that. But there's a lot of areas that you need to understand, that you have to solve a problem in order to have an element of ambition with things, you know? And there's also got to be a lot of reasons why you're doing something in order for you to have that element of ambition. And that's what's come down to with me. And I hope this video helps some of you. It's been a bit all over the place a little bit, but I feel like there is some value in it overall. And I feel like I have explained a lot of stuff that has allowed me to find that element of ambition in my life. The literal pursuit of, what do I want to solve? What issues do I want to solve? What problems do I want to solve? What position do I want to be in as well? Where do I want to be? The person I want to be. You know what I mean? And using that to work towards, and using that to benefit people and help people, teach my lessons, teach what I've been through, teach the hardships, teach the pains, teach the ups, teach the downs, and allow people to have an element of trust in me. And because of my experience, because of what I've said, because of the issues, because of everything I've experienced and what I've told and what I've shown, and use that to better me, and use that to help me, and use that to help other people. And that's where my ambition comes from. I'm bettering my own situation, bettering me as a person. But then you may have ambition in something else. You may have certain goals in something else, but you need to understand, what do you truly want to solve? That's what the first question would be. What do you truly solve? And then what lifestyle do you want to achieve during that? How are you going to do it? You know what I mean? You got to go down that whole list, but you got to most importantly understand, what are you trying to solve? And that's the core question over all this. What do you want to solve? What pain have you dealt with that you want to solve? And what do you truly enjoy as well? And you've got to build it around that. And that's the overall value in this video. I hope you lot got a lot of value. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for all love recently. I hope this helps some of you. Thank you.